Welcome
Hey.
to the pod. Two peaches. We are modern, not Moderna, not dermatologists. We are two peaches in a pod. In a pod, you will find two peaches. You won't find two peas. And I think that makes me Coco, and that's Cammy.
Yay. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay, I like it. Picasso. All right. Bellissima. Bella, bella. Encore, encore.
Cammy!
Coco, my beautiful friend. What is up? How are you? How are things? We're back.
Yes, 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 yes. Things are moving along. Life stops for no one, as we know, no matter if it's tragedy or triumph. So, th- already in the
Sorry, I didn't listen. I cannot control my natural
and
reactions.
you shouldn't. And you shouldn't. We don't
And I
censor
feel
ourselves
like our
here.
pod is a safe space,
It is.
so
So it should be extra safe for us,
it's extra
particularly.
safe for us.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right.
exactly. I know I'm right.
Mm-hmm. Like, do I second
For
that or
those of
no?
us that are listening, Coco definitely made a face, so you may as well just watch this on Spotify and YouTube for the ultimate reactions.
As I've told y'all before, I've apparently been making faces since the wee age of 2. So for all you all that get offended at my face, it's not that Cammy does. She just let y'all know. I'm just letting you know, like, this is just who I am as
I
a
don't
person.
get offended by it. I love it. I love it because
I
like
appreciate that. Not everybody does. Well, your
that
face
is true.
ain't
Not
wrong.
everybody does it.
I'm
And
like,
you know what?
did
The
I
people
say
that don't appreciate
anything?
it, they're haters.
Oh, that's funny to me that you say that because I I'm glad I'm not the one who said it. No, okay, I won't even say that they're haters, but it's kind of just like what I just said. Is your face did this, your face did that. Okay, but what did I do? Did I say anything? Did I mess
Right.
up?
Right.
So you're letting these involuntary emotions get into your emotion. That's your prerogative.
That's their prerogative. Their prerogative.
Oh, okay, that cadence threw me off. I was like, are we doing the same song? She doing the Britney version?
No, the Britney version is everybody's talking all this stuff about me. Why can't they just let me live?
Tell me why.
I heard that Britney's married now.
Yeah, she was trying for a baby also, but
I did hear that as well. Good for her.
no, right?
Getting to live your life the way you want to
The way
without
you earned
people.
to, on top of that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
So, Brittany, we hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
We hope that you're living your best life freely. And,
Yes.
just like make sure you're drinking water and like
You
taking a
want
nap
to, if you
if
want
you want
to.
to. If you want to.
You want
If
to.
you want to. But I think we should always just be drinking water.
I mean, not always. Not like you sleeping and drinking water, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, just stay hydrated. We
Okay.
don't want anybody to be dehydrated because, like, LA's going through a heat wave. I don't want anybody to collapse.
Okay.
Listen, I've had friends who've had their freezers broken because of the heat wave. Their plants are dying because of the heat wave.
Wow.
Um, yeah. Look, LA heat is nothing to joke with. You will not
Climate
catch me in
change.
LA right now.
Climate
I
change
cannot.
isn't
This
real.
body was not made for 106-degree heat.
Climate
No, thank
change
you.
isn't real. The earth isn't heating up. Don't let them fool you.
Oh, it's not heating up at all. No, absolutely not. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't let
Climate change
them
is not
fool
real.
you. Climate change is not real. They just want to take away the money. Cammy, how have you been? What's the haps with you? What's the 411?
What's the 411? What's happening? Listen, I don't know. Because I'm
Okay.
on the edge of a breakdown.
It's the remix.
I mean, I'm thankful to have my health,
Yeah.
to have a job, to like be living life. But right now I just feel like work has been all consuming
Hmm.
and I need a break.
Mm.
And today I like literally was at my wit's end because like I have a lot of things changing in my role and I have a lot of responsibility, but I still only have like the 40 hours in a week to get it all done. Like
Mm.
I honestly just like need more time and it's not going to be like I'm never going to have like more time in a week to do it unless I work special hours, which is not fair to me and I'm not
Fortunately,
going to do it. Huh?
why isn't it fair? What do you mean?
Well, when I say special hours, it means like working like extra hours but not being paid for
Or
it.
extra pay? Oh, no, no, no. See, I tried to
Yeah,
finish your
no. Like I'm
sentence
not
the
doing that.
correct way because
But literally, like and I hate that I have this mentality where, like, I wake up thinking about work. I'm, like, stressing about work when I get home because I'm thinking about all of the things that need to get done.
yeah.
And everything on my team, like, there are so many shifts happening with people leaving, people changing roles, just the amount of work to get done. Everybody on the team is feeling it. Everybody is being stretched super thin. Like, I had a meeting today where me and my lead were like I
I don't know what to tell you. You don't know what to tell me. I don't know what to tell you.
don't know, dude. It's literally like the Spider-Man meme where like, do you know what we're doing? Do you know what we're doing? Do you know what we're doing? Like I'm just like overwhelmed all the time.
Mhm.
But today, I woke up today. I mean, like I woke up stressed, but I was like, you know what? It is what it is. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where I've been at, like from a work standpoint.
Okay.
I also just feel like I don't know what it was, but like during the end of the summertime, I just started getting like summertime sadness for some reason.
Mhm.
And it was really bad and really, really heavy where I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I want to do. I don't like I wasn't feeling anything. But now that like the seasons are changing, which is weird because, like, winter's upon us and, like, sad season is
Right.
truly upon
Right.
us,
Right around the
and I'm like,
corner.
"Oh god, how am I gonna get my vitamin D?" That's another thing. I got my levels checked, my Vit D is very low, and I was like, I knew something was up because I went to the doctor and I was like, "Yeah, can we do labs because I really think my vitamin D is low." She's like, "Sure, we can do it." And sure enough, I'm like, at an 18, and I'm like, yeah, that explains a lot." So that was a lot of TMI for you and the listeners. But it's okay.
It's okay because it's our show.
It's our show and like this is what's happening in my life right now.
What's happening? Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm,
How have you been? What's been going on with you?
mhm. Work has also been, I won't say overwhelming, but it has picked up. It's at a pace where, so actually during our winter season, things slow down. So it's like ramping up to eventually like taper off and then decline. So it's been a bit busy.
Mhm.
Business wise, I've been trying to like juggle so many different projects at once, and I keep saying, okay, let me focus on these six. Okay, let me focus on these five. And I keep trying to narrow it down, and then I'm ended up, oh, but I have this idea and I have that. So it's like, um, I'm not as focused as I could be, but I know what I need to do it. I'm just like,
Mhm.
I'm juggling. I'm just preferring to juggle right now, which is not good in the long run. But I'm excited. It's because I'm
Mhm.
so excited about some of the things that I'm really ready to start on or work on. So
I'm excited for you cuz like I love it whenever you start a new project because you get so passionate about it and you take it on full throttle and I'm just in like, wow, this is amazing.
yeah.
Like, you all don't know, but, like, Coco is one of my just, like, overall, like icon.
She's
She is
ridiculous.
no. She is an icon. She is a legend.
She's ridiculous.
She gets the things done. Like anytime she's running her business and she's doing the things, I'm just like, wow. Like I'm literally like, you go, Coco, on the side, just like cheering her on.
Cammy's ridiculous because that's how I
I'm
feel
not
about her.
ridiculous. I just love her that much.
She can be ridiculous and love me that much. Two things.
Two things can be true. Whatever.
Something else, I guess more personal. I guess I'll let the pod know. I apparently have sciatica in one of my legs, which is debilitating at this point. So that's another reason, why I haven't been able to do everything I want to do. Like literally, I will have to stop walking, or it'll be a point where I cannot walk. And I've heard people say sciatica before. I've heard celebrities, regular people, and it just never clicked with me. Like, what is it? I'm just like, oh, okay. And I understand it's one of those like immune or autoimmune things you can't see. You know what I mean? So it's like, not that because I can't see it, I didn't know it was real. It's just that I did not know what it was. So then when I started researching it, I spoke with my doctor, when I spoke with my chiro, and they're like, yeah, from here to here, and this can happen, and this is how you rehab it, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm just like, I don't have time for this, body. Like, body, I don't have time for you not to do what I need.
Listen, I tell my body this all the time. Like, listen.
And you're my body, so you know we don't have time for this. We have goals to accomplish, people to see, meetings to take, times to record. We don't have time to be doubled over on the rug, stretching for like an hour, like crying because we cannot move. We don't have time to do that, right? And also, like, I'm a healthy older than 20 something. So what are you doing, body? But sciatica has, what is it? Is no respecter of age. Like, it can happen at any time. It can happen from you having an injury, you doing a dance move wrong, you like bending down a certain way. It can happen.
Were you twerking too hard?
What are you talking about?
That explains it.
No. Let me. Okay, I'll tell you what happened, and I guess y'all too, because y'all listening. So I feel like this started back last year at a previous job. They had me moving stuff that I had no business moving, just to see if like it was one of those like, can you do everything that every team member does type of thing, even though I was office work, whatever. That was the first injury. It was like lower back. Eventually that like, got better, but it would still like flare up and stuff like that. So moving on, I was learning this TikTok dance. I wasn't twerking. I was learning a TikTok dance, and the dance was that dun, 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 whereas you kick your leg out, kick it back for it, and then you bend with your knees up, bend with your knees up. And so the first time I did it, like fluently, I was like, oh, this is great. My smart self decided, you know what? I did it perfectly the first time. Let me try a second time. That second time, my body was like, oh, you didn't let, so that second time I was like, dun, dun, dun. I bent down, my knee went like, it didn't crack, but it went a certain way. And I was like, ooh, that feels weird. And so the next like week or so, everything seemed okay, but progressively it was like my lower back, and then my thigh, and then my knee, and then my calf. And then I was like, oh my gosh. I was just like, okay, well, maybe this is just, and mind you, this was like months ago. So I've been, because it wasn't consistent, I was just like, you know what, that is from that. I'll heating pad it, and I'll just, take my ibuprofen.
Self-medicate, self-prescribe,
I'll stretch. That's what it has to do. I'll continue to do my yogas. And within the last like month and a half, like I said, it's gotten debilitating. So that's when I started going back to the chiro. I saw my doctor. They were like, yes, sciatica, you are inflamed, yada, yada, yada. But
okay, so what exactly is sciatica?
So we have a sciatic nerve that goes from like our lower back all the way down to, I believe, like the ankle area. And basically, when it's kind of like when do you know chiropractic, like when you're releasing, sorry, you guys, I'm moving my mic. So when you get your chiropractic services, they're like cracking your back and stuff like that. They're not like cracking your bones. They're shifting and
they're shifting
the air pockets and making it more lubricated and stuff like that. So our sciatic nerve, it goes from your back to your legs to your knee. And so even if my lower back like stop hurting, it's still going to emanate. Is that the word I'm looking for? Emanate. What's the word where it's like radiation, but it's like the pulsate? I will say pulsate. It's still going to pulsate until you figure out what the actual issue is. So even if my lower back was healed, since it hurt my knee, it could start all over. So it's kind of like
Mm.
say you hurt your back, but then it goes down to your knee and it goes down to your ankle, and you rehab your back, but the other ones, no, it's the other way around. Say you hurt your ankle and you rehab your back, until you go to the original injury, it's not going to heal properly, right? So
Yeah.
at the points where I thought, okay, my back is feeling better, I'm okay, my knee was like, oh, no, 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 did you forget? You tried to do that TikTok dance and, we never fully healed or whatever. So the sciatic nerve runs along your back, your leg, your back, leg, thigh, and it's just very sensitive. And also, this might be a little TMI for our listeners. Apparently, during your cycle, your menses, it's even more sensitive. So, with the week where I was like, I can't walk, it was that week. And so I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. I've been like,
Oh.
just managing through pain. But when I say I
Yeah.
could not walk, I mean, like, I was on the floor crying. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I am so
Not your
sorry.
fault, but I appreciate the sympathy. It is, thankfully, it's not like it's, a no cure all or anything like that. It's just like physical therapy and getting your body to remember these functions and move safely. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
Well, I'm glad that you know, like, what's
what it
causing
is.
it and,
Right,
like, you have, like, um, a care plan in place
right.
to help alleviate it.
Yeah. On an episode of Moms Be Mom, and just real quick. So I told my mom about my sciatica. I told her I was diagnosed sciatica. I told her doctor and chiropractor sciatica.
Mhm, not WebMD
Not
diagnosed.
WebMD, not Google, not da 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 da. She
Correct.
she proceeds to tell me that one of our family members, I'll just say that one of our family members had sciatica, and she was like, I don't know if it's hereditary, and I was like, I don't think it's hereditary. But then she
Mhm.
proceeded also to say that she thought she had sciatica, but she thinks it was actually just a really bad case of gas. And I was like, I was on the phone, of course, but literally, I was just like, did she not hear me say this was diagnosed by a doctor and a
Right.
chiropractor, and she's trying to say, Sue don't say that this might just be really bad gas. And I was just like, well, the doctor said it's sciatica. She was like, okay, I was just saying. And I'm like, I know what you just said.
Moms truly be momming.
Moms be momming. Moms be momming.
I cannot believe.
My mom thinks okay, I won't say everything and play her like that, but a lot of times she'll chalk up something, and she makes sense, and she be talking about, I should have been a lawyer. I'm like, you should have been a lawyer. She'll start at like, the
Mhm.
chair is brown and end up at the Pythagorean theorem, whatever Mr. Aaron used to teach us. What the Pythagorean
Oh,
end up there, and the answer will be, you only have gas. And it's just like,
like, this was a lesson in proofs that I missed for sure. Like, how did we get here? Show your work,
show
please.
your work. So yeah, moms be momming.
Moms be
Moms be momming.
momming. Oh my
The reasons
goodness.
are, it's probably gas, and you just gotta drink water and pray. Those are the top 3 things you need to do. Doctor diagnosed or not. Okay, on top of your prescription, you need to drink water, get the gas out, and pray.
Listen, I was talking to my mom about this, like, I don't know, maybe sometime last year, but I was like, yeah, like, I don't like to tell you about when I'm sick because you're just gonna tell me to, like, pray it away. Like, I love you, but that's like your first thought, not, I mean, and I get it, like, yes, like, pray for, like, the wisdom to get to the answers that you need, not like just straight up, Lord, take this illness away, but like also, Lord, take this illness
But
away.
also,
Uh, and she's like, "No, like, I never meant it like that. You're twisting my words." And I'm like, "All right, whatever. I'm just gonna let you be mom, and I'm just gonna listen, but I'm also just gonna like Regina George scream after I get off the phone with you.
Right. Mind you, I was at TJ Maxx checking out, and I said thank you. I got off the phone with her, and I was like, "Did she really say it might be gas?" When I said,
Not in the middle of TJ Maxx.
I was at TJ Maxx because I needed a couple things. And look at her calling me now. Moms be momming. I told her I had to record.
Moms be
I
momming
don't know
because
what she
moms
doing.
be knowing.
Maybe that's what she. I was just putting fun.
I wonder if your mom is currently at TJ Maxx right now.
I doubt it. She was on her way home when I spoke to her early. Anyways,
Anyways,
what are we getting into today, Cami? Because it's a lot.
a lot has
A lot.
happened since the last time we spoke. Shall we just talk about the most recent news?
Let's do it.
The Queen's dead, y'all.
Oh, you gotta be real Pacific. Which queen?
Not Latifah, not Nicki Minaj, not Regina Hall, not Michelle Obama. Queen E2 of London, England.
Essex? Brookshire? How are you feeling about it? Are you surprised? Are you like, how are you feeling about it? Do you have any feelings for it?
Okay, so like, when I found out, like some friends like text me in the group chat, they're like, "Oh wow, like the Queen's dead," and I was like, "What?" And then in another group chat, they're like, "Yeah, like I wasn't expecting this." I was like, "I wasn't expecting this either. Like not on a Thursday. Like it just felt like kind of random, but you know, like death is also really
Yeah.
random. It's not like you can I mean, you could schedule your death. Not. I'm not gonna get
Thank
into
you.
that. Anyway, like 96, she was old, longest reigning monarch, which is like it's just so wild.
Wild.
That's a long time to be queen. Like I feel like I could be queen for a year and I'd be like, you know what? I'm done. Not
You
even a
could serve
year.
us for more than a year. Come on. Because you know how to
No, like I'd
serve.
be like
You know how to serve.
I mean, I can serve.
You can serve.
I can serve. I can serve.
I can serve.
But I don't think I could be like queen. I don't think I could be president. I don't think maybe president of a company, but not president of the country. It's just too much. Like I want to lay low. I want to be off. Like one of these days, I want to be off the grid.
Okay.
Like I want people to be like, "Where's Camille?" And I'll be like, "You'll never find me."
No, you could go across the continent.
But like, I mean, to be honest, like I wasn't like sad. Like I wasn't sad the way people were sad when Princess Diana died.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And Princess Diana's death really had an impact on me because I mean, I remember the day, I remember watching the funeral, I remember going to Ingles and seeing the tabloids like with the news of it everywhere and just being so like gutted. I still to this day cannot listen to Elton John's Candle in the Wind because I always think of Diana's funeral every single time. Like that's how impactful Princess Diana's like death was on me like as a 7-year-old. Now the queen, I mean, like the queen's old. Like we were, like there have been so many like, oh, like the queen has COVID. Like watch out. Like the queen is sick. Philip, who looked like
Ghastly.
the Grim
The Grim
Reaper, was
Reaper.
on his way out.
Death's
So I'm like,
door.
it's only a matter of time. But then I also had this theory that she was just gonna live to outlive Charles, so that Charles could never be king, and then
Not the petty outlive.
and then like she like once Charles was gone, she'd be like, "All right, William, you're up."
I can't.
That's what I sincerely thought was going to
I
happen.
really can't. I too agree with you. I'm like, she was a 96-year-old woman. Like some people don't make it past their 60s, even in this modern technological age. So I'm like, because my mom said she was surprised. Again, mom's mom is surprised to see how many people were happy or were rejoicing or were indifferent about her passing away. And I was like, "You're surprised?" And she was like, "Yeah, how do you feel
I was
about
like,
it?" And I
what?
was like, "She was a." I was like, I could. I think my brain imploded when my mom said she was surprised about all the negative feedback. I was like, just
Mm-hmm.
because she's this royal, regal, oh, the queen, like, no, the way she's ruled, the things she's allowed to happen under her ruling, like,
Mm-hmm.
no, that's not queen behavior to me. So, I mean,
Right.
it's nasty tyranny, queen colonialism behavior, but it's not like, oh, that's not queen. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. I don't understand like why people were like, "Oh, I mean like the queen is dead. Like why aren't you like I mean, you can I two things can be true at the same time. You know what I mean? Like yes, the queen is dead. Like I feel for the family because like yeah, like at the same time, the family is mourning a loss. Like sorry for your loss, blah blah blah. But also your mom was behind some shady stuff as well.
Right.
And not even just like on the colonialism, on the genocides, just like all that stuff. Just in the family alone. Like who was it? Prince Andrew that was up to some really nasty stuff?
Yep,
Like you're covering
and
that
she
up.
paid the settlement and his court fees. Yeah. I mean, we won't have to say what it was, but
The queen and the institution, they
she
need to be
paid.
looked at. Don't even get me started on Harry and Meghan. Don't even get me
Uh-huh.
started. Don't even get me started because like every time Meghan is like, yes, like the queen and she really loves us and blah blah blah. I'm like, listen, girl, just let Tyler Perry make the movie. We want to know.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
like, like the truth will get out one of these days, and when it does, I'll be like,
Told you. Or saw it coming. Yeah, when Hollywood Unlocked incorrectly reported a couple months ago that she passed, and everyone was like waiting for, Buckingham Palace to confirm, and they were like, no, she's very much still alive. Right then, I was like, something's amiss.
she probably died for a second.
I'm only speaking because we can't have dead airspace on recording, but I'm in shock right now. This is the second time Kimmy has done this to me. I just want y'all to know these are just words so that it's not sideline y'all think something's wrong with where
Was that too real?
it wasn't too real for me. I feel like nothing is too real for me. I just wasn't expecting.
Are you just shocked that I
I
said
think I was
it?
expecting you to just be like, well, she probably got sick. You said she probably did die for a second.
Listen, sometimes people die
They
for like
do.
7
That's true.
seconds and then they like get
That's true.
resuscitated.
That's actual and factual.
So she probably died for like 3 seconds and everyone was like London Bridge is falling down and then that's how that leak got out. But then they resuscitated her and they're like, "Oh, she's fine." But like they didn't move fast enough.
One thing I did.
Cuz the devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder.
Mm.
I do you not think that Kris Jenner is on the devil's
Oh, I
payroll?
thought you was in like. I thought you were about to say. Now I don't know what you gonna say. I thought you were about to say. Do you not think Kris Jenner was involved with the Queen's death? But I'll say no, Cammy. I don't think. So. No, don't.
Listen, I love a good conspiracy to laugh at, but that's just ridiculous.
I mean, I feel like we could find a way to make it not ridiculous, but
The 7
at
degrees
the same time,
of
Kris Jenner, it's probably like 2 degrees of Kris Jenner. You gotta handle it all the pot.
that just reminds me of that trend, the murder mystery party trend that's on like reels and TikToks where people are like, all right, who's the victim? And then it's like some random celebrity and they're like, oh, who died? And then they're like, all right, so who's the suspect? Who's the lead detective? Who's the accomplice? You've never seen
No,
these? Oh,
to be
I love
honest,
them.
I have a TikToky, but I'm not on there as often because I what happens is people make videos on TikTok in like January, then they finally make their way to Instagram around May. And that's when I see them.
Yeah. And then when people on Instagram are viewing those videos and they send them to me, I have to pretend like I've never seen
Right,
them before.
right. Oh my goodness, you and I do
I'm
that.
like,
I
"Oh
feel
my
like
god, this is so funny. I've already laughed at this 73 times
73 weeks ago.
6 months
Right, 4, 8,
ago."
12, 6, 20.
Like, I was rolling on the floor laughing 6 months ago, but I'm so happy for
Right. Okay. Can we talk about that? What's the proper response for that? Because I feel like even you and I do that, where we'll send each other things that we've already seen, but it's like I want to share this, and I don't know if she's already seen it. So, what's the proper response? Is it like not just between us, but in general? Is it hey, stop sending me stuff, or is it hey, like how about I send you stuff? Like let's make this a one-way thing. And if you've seen it, great. If not, okay.
when it comes to me, I love it when people send me stuff. Whether or not I've seen it and my reaction to it depends on the person. If it's somebody like in my inner circle, like if I've seen it, I'll be like, "Bro, I've already seen this, but LOL, like this is so funny." Which is like not proper etiquette, but like whatever. Um, if it's my close circle, like I'm just gonna be honest with you. If it's somebody that's just like an acquaintance, you like share like some things, you just like give like a cute like LOL. If it's
What that taught me, Peaches, is that I'm an acquaintance because Cammy has definitely hit me with the LOL, and I'm like, thank you.
okay, no, no,
You've
no,
seen this
no.
before.
I need to introduce you. I need to give you my chart of my reactions.
Well,
Cause like
reaction chart. I
I
would
guess
love that if you have it ready mentally right now to relay. Or
I don't have
okay,
it
I didn't know if you was
mentally.
about to read it for us or if I'm putting you on the spot. I'm like,
No, I have it in my notes app. Because I had to give it to my biffle the other day. And by the other day, I mean like 2 months ago. Because like someone in the group chat was like, okay, what do you mean by like this sad, the dying rose emoji? Because like they didn't know like what I meant by that. And I'm just like, oh, like that's like a little womp womp situation. And then I like gave the whole like, this is what the skull means, but I don't use the skull with the crossbones. I just use like the single
mm-hmm.
skull. It's a thing. I'll give it to you later. Maybe this will be bonus
Okay,
content for the Patreon
all
for
right,
our
peep stops,
viewers and our listeners
peep
later.
stops,
A little
peep
peach
stop.
stop. A little pit stop.
Pit. That's what it's called. It's been so long, guys. Let me fresh that out.
Listen.
Pit. Pit.
We've been away for a little bit, but
Yeah, we are.
we're back. Listen, we've been busy with work and life and vacations and things and weddings that we don't like to speak about. It's awful. But we're back and we're getting better. And we'll be back in your ears.
Yeah.
And on your faces. In your faces? Not on your
Her
faces.
face.
In your faces. We're not making temporary tattoos of us. Although that'd be cute. Like we can have like little
On the face?
pieces. Yeah.
Did we do a body
You know
switch
how people have
before
like the
we
Brad
get
Tribe
recorded? I'm
tattoos and they like put it
confused.
on their face? No? You're not into it? Anyway, I'll think about it.
All right.
You're like, no, absolutely not.
I mean, I'll go with you.
It's a menace to society.
You guys. Did you guys miss Jonah J. Jameson? Because I miss Jonah J. Jameson. I
Hey.
miss him. So bad. So bad. So yeah, bye Queenie. That's how I feel. I told my mom because she was remember blah 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 everything I just said 10 minutes ago. What I told her, I was like, my concern is for, and I do not know his name, and I couldn't remember, and I didn't look it up when I got back home. But I don't know if he was an early mobster or an early oil guy or a Rothschild or what, but he's like an older white American man or an Italian man, and he's had like 7.
Kingpin?
He's real. This woman just get okay. I'm gonna get back on track.
I did that on purpose, y'all.
He's had like 7 heart transplants and is still alive. I told my mom, I said, I'm worried
7?
about. I'm worried about this man who has so much money. He's had like 7 heart transplants. I'm not worried about the queen being 96 and passing away. That's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about this man. possibly buy
Man.
black market body parts, or maybe just having the money to pay for it. Because if you're an oil tycoon or your family has been having businesses since the late 1800s or whatever it is, then maybe it's legit. But I told her, I was like, this man walking amongst us as if he is human with 7 heart transplants, that's who I'm worried about.
It sounds to me like you're describing Fester Adams IRL. I mean, I don't know who this is, but to have survived 7 heart transplants, like, that's ridiculous to me. I have
Oh,
no idea who this
David
man is.
Rockefeller. It was Rockefeller. See, I kept thinking Rockefeller. Hang on. Billionaire philanthropist David Rockefeller has successfully undergone his 6th heart transplant in 38 years at the venerable age of 99. This was in 2015.
This man is still
He did, because
alive?
this was in 2015. So, guys, I'm looking it
Okay.
up in real time right now. So, he was an American banker, so not an oil tycoon. He passed away in 2017, but he had at least
Okay.
six heart transplants.
Mm. Okay. Okay, I remember the Rockefellers.
Yeah, bankers.
I thought who you were describing was someone that worked directly with the queen that like was in charge of queen institution
No, no, no,
stuff.
no, no. One of the early ones.
Like had a heavy hand in the monarchy. And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about.
One of the early.
I'm just over here trying to mind my business.
It'd be like that. What you want to get?
What else do you want to get into? What else has
I
happened?
just asked you that.
No, I brought it up. I brought up the queen. I sure did. You asked me and I was like, yeah, the queen is dead.
I didn't say you did it. I'm just doing my fax machine noise.
What do you want to
I
talk
want to talk
about,
about some new music. Oh
Coco?
my goodness, so much music has come out, and yes, the queen, the real queen, is still reigning
Well,
now.
real queen, I have not listened to any new music besides
I
Renaissance.
believe you, and I feel like that's a fair take. Like, I believe you. That's a fair take. This Friday or whatever day we're releasing this, so much music came out. So Bryson Tiller released a single. I posted it. It's called Outside. It uses the Yin Yang Twin sample, the doom 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. So it's really cool to hear that.
Is that the
Yes,
Whisper
it
song?
is. So it's really cool to hear that, like that bass and that, and then you hear his voice crooning over. It's great.
That like really threw me
Yeah,
back. I'm envisioning like baggy jeans and long white t-shirts right now.
not the white tee, not the long white,
The long white
the
tee.
long white. Yeah, that was released. Nicki Minaj, who sometimes she's people's tea, sometimes she's not, but also a queen we acknowledge, or I acknowledge. She released her Super Freaky Girl Queens remix and had like 5 female rappers on there. There's Bia, Girls, Akbar,
Wow.
who's from Atlanta and is Candy Burst Tucker's cousin. Not Flo Millie, but Katie from somewhere else and someone else. So she had like a whole lot of people who weren't like super big names, and I was like, and y'all say the Queen Nikki don't give back. Y'all say Queen Nikki don't work with other female artists. Y'all say why why. Here she go. Here she go, putting them on the Super Freaky Girl Queens mix. So I really
Y'all heard
listen.
Coco?
I've been a barb for a long time. Before Nicki Minaj was the Nicki Minaj, I wouldn't even call myself a barb. I would just say I'm a Nicki Minaj fan, because I'm not about to like put heart emoji unicorns on your post if you say something crazy about it. Everybody got
Right. The bar, like there, I feel like there is a difference between being a Nicki Minaj fan and being a
for
Barb's
sure.
fan.
I feel like
Because the Barb fans can be a
violent.
little, don't come for
Yeah,
me,
barbs
intense.
can be violent, and they will like run up on you for Nicki, and I'm not like that. I'm like, I know what jail is. I've
Yeah.
never been. I don't ever want to go. So I'm not about to do that. I'm not doing that.
Right.
So yeah, I really, really, it's a really vulgar song, but I'm like, This is a good song. It's
Listen,
hard.
I like
Song.
I like a
It's a
vulgar
good
song.
song. And then
Blast that in the
yeah.
car, and nobody needs to
Well,
know.
that's the
Like
thing.
I'm Camille at work, and then
I had my windows cracked,
uh,
and then like I was driving past his family, and I was like, they don't need to hear this. And so I rolled the windows up.
or they could have been like, you could have been like, well, they're gonna find out eventually. Roll down the window, turn it all the way up, hey, drive away, and then the mom would like cover the
It
ears.
takes a village. I would have been doing my communal duty to put them on to Super Freaky Girl at the ripe young age of 7. You're right.
Yeah,
Missed opportunity.
exactly. I mean, I was listeing to Too Close by
But we
Next
didn't
at
know what that
7
meant.
and roller skating at Golden Glide to it.
But you didn't know what it meant then. Yeah, we found
I
out what
did
it
not
meant
know what it meant.
recently. Let's be
I was
real.
having this conversation I was having this conversation with my husband the other day, and he was like, because he brought it up, he was like, "Yeah, like, you were roller skating to the song," but I was like, "Yeah, I wasn't listening to the lyrics. All I heard was I love when you shake it I mean, like that's the only part that I was paying attention to while wearing a choo choo train turtleneck and some blue leggings. All right, I wasn't paying attention. All right, baby,
Right.
I
You're
like
making
the way that you
it,
grind.
it's like
It's so
you're
aggressive.
making it hard for me. I'm like, hard to do what? What is she making hard for you? What is she making
And
it
I
hard to
was like,
do? Are you
what do
guys
you
not
mean I poke? Like
breathe?
poke? Like I'm poking you, I'm tapping you, I'm not touching you. Like, how was I supposed to know what that meant? I didn't know they were talking about penises. Yeah, I said it. Y'all, I said penises. Because that's what the song is about. Dingy ding.
Yeah. Girl also out, and then Ari Lennox, who I did not listen to before last year, and I've just like fallen really in love
Mhm.
with her lyrics. Not, I mean, her sound is also nice and it's great, but even like I was reading her lyrics and I was like, this is dope. And then lo and behold, her real name
Mm.
is my name, and so I was like, oh, so
Is
you destined for
it?
greatness. You one of me. You destined for greatness. So yeah, she has a oh my goodness. She has some like so it's called age sex location, like ASL. Remember, like we used to be in the chat room.
Oh my god, it
Yeah,
was
I
so
know.
good.
Yahoo, high five, whatever, tag, like ASL, age sex location for I don't feel like we have super young listeners, but who knows whose ears will listen to this. Back in the day, before Al Gore's internet was a thing, you would get into chat rooms. You couldn't see people, and so you type ASL. So you'd be like, just being honest, you'd be like 14 F or female, and then location, you say your location, which is nowadays it sounds real crazy to get on the internet and be talking to somebody else who might be like 40 something and, typing back and all this other good stuff, but, or who might,
I literally can't imagine doing that
it's,
right
you wouldn't
now.
have to though, because someone could just search you by name, your whole house pull up, your blood type, what you had for dinner last night, like
Okay.
information.
Your vaccination
Basically,
status.
Information Nation is crazy now. But the
It
thing she
really
was talking
is.
about, she has a song called POF, which stands for like plenty of fish. And it's like her lyrics on there, I was like, this is great. This is amazing. Like she talks about
I'm gonna have to take a look or take a
she talks
listen
about
to the
dating and
project because
love and
yeah.
the ups and downs. And it's just so like realistic. So yeah, I listened to that whole thing from the Rooter to the Tutor and I enjoyed every single song. But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Then I have a friend who does music. I don't think I'm going to plug their information right now, but if you follow me on my personal profile page, he's posted there as well.
Ooh.
So yeah, have you been listening? I know you said the Queen is still unique, is still reigning, or running rampant in your life. Have you introduced anything else into the rotation?
No. And I'm not
You
ashamed
shouldn't
about
be.
it. I if anything, because I haven't really been listening to new music up until Renaissance. I've just had like the same like diva playlist that I've created on repeat, which is a lot of
Ooh,
Janet Jackson, a lot of Beyonce, a lot of Mariah Carey, a little bit of Brandy here and there, some Chloe, just those songs just really
yeah.
get me through the day. Uh, so like now that I have Renaissance in the mix, I'm like, what's really been
What? Tell us.
I feel like I'm on a new Renaissance energy wave every
Really?
week. And this week it was like all about the visuals that people are like creating and things of that nature. I sent you a I sent you a TikTok of
Oh
this one
yeah.
dude. And he was like, okay, just like hear me out. But like these are the visuals. And it looks so dumb in this like, limited budget production. But like if you use your imagination,
It's like
I see the
right.
vision.
Like
I see it. I see the post production. It's the lighting. I see the I see the big Frida like situations into the
oh my goodness. Yeah, if he has some production monies behind him, definitely, definitely see the vision, definitely see it come into fruition because it was like, okay, I see where this is going, and I
yes,
could definitely see this, but with fancier wardrobe, and fancier
yes.
visuals, and more money behind it, and changes and transitions. But yes, I see that this is a rough draft of what Beyonce might do.
Crying. When we release this episode, I will post it to stories, the
Okay.
video,
Okay.
so that people can see
I can't.
what.
I am glad that the Queen is still in your rotation. For me, I I think it's like I just did it back to back to back to back so much. I was like, okay, I need a break. And so at one point, I had
Mm.
her album and the Chris Brown Breezy album and Drake's. Honestly, never mind. Like those three were in rotation and rotation and rotation. But after a while, I was like, okay, yeah, this is sounding a little too similar. I need to take a little break. So I did go back to some of my
Mhm.
other playlists that I already had. But yeah, it's a classic album, and I feel like people are like you gotta let time go by before you decide that and say that. No, I'm not sure.
Nope, nope,
Renaissance,
nope,
at least part
nope.
one, Act One, is a classic album.
It's a classic. Love it. It's great. I love it. It's great. I can't say anything else
but
about it. It's
do
just
you love it? But is it
I
great?
love it.
Okay,
It's
okay,
great.
just making sure.
Just in case I didn't make myself clear. Sorry, I'm really trying to like catch my breath from like all
Okay,
that laughing. Like my gut is just like really
well,
hurting right now.
relax, relax, ma'am, relax. Um,
I did want to talk about video games right quick.
we like it.
So I started playing Animal Crossing again, but then like I
You
took a
just
break
reminded me.
because uh okay, there are like so many cool things about Animal Crossing that I guess I wasn't paying attention to like the updates as they were happening before like the expansion
Mhm.
pack came out, but I've been enjoying those. I've been redecorating my island. I think I want to just like not necessarily start over and rebuild the island cuz listen, I collected a lot of things. I did a lot of selling of turnips on the stock market, okay? Like I can't go through that again. Like I have made my millions, all right? Like I just want to retire. I want to retire with my mermaid club. My mermaid club is like getting a lot of business. Like I've got my mansions. I've got my monies. I've befriended everybody on the island. Now it's just like what's next? And maybe what's next is like redecorating, just like shifting everything, changing up the neighborhoods, maybe making an actual orchard, getting ready for the holiday seasons. So that's what I think I have
You know,
planned
when you
for
said
Animal Crossing.
redecorating, you just like brought me back to the real world. I'm like, that's what people with money do. Once you have like your foundational, like your business and your home and whatever extra else, all you do is remodel, right? What else do you do?
Yeah.
You travel and do everything else, but when you're home, I think I want the cabinets to be still now. I think I want that wall to be green now. Like that's what you do. So now that you've made your turned
That's so
millions, your turned
true.
trillions, yeah, it's time to remodel.
It's time to remodel. Man, I want to remodel my actual house.
That
Like
would
that'd
be
be
fun, and it's
nice.
an ongoing process. So
But I need to like declutter first before I can think about like bringing stuff
yeah, of
in. You know
course, I feel you
what
on that.
I mean? I've also been playing this game called Sushi Striker, which I was not I don't even know how we came about getting this game because my husband will be like, "Oh yeah, like these games like you would definitely like it." And I'm like, "I've never heard of this game in my life. Like, I don't care. It's not the classic Mario. Don't put it in my thing. Don't put it in my game case. Get it out of here." But it was in my game case, and then I was like, "You know what? I'll just like play it." And it's a really fun game. It's a puzzle game, and like you have to like defeat like all of these different like sushi strikers and level up and things like that. But it's really fun, and I've been
I'm gonna have to write
enjoying
that down.
it.
When you said that, I thought it was going to be something like Fruit Ninja, like Sushi Striker.
No, no. I thought it was going to be something like that too. I was wrong.
Okay.
And I definitely stayed up way too late, way past my
Oh, was that
bedtime playing that
good?
game.
Okay.
It's
I'm
very much
listen. I'm gonna
enjoyable.
look for it. I just renewed my Xbox Game Pass, and when you said Animal Crossing, I was like, oh yeah. I started playing this Disney game called Dreamlight Village, and it's like Animal Crossing meets Kingdom Hearts meets The Sims, and it's like so much fun.
What is
It's
the name
called
of this game?
Dreamlight Valley. It's Disney Dreamlight Valley. Basically,
And it's for the
it's for all
Xbox.
consoles: Xbox,
Oh.
PlayStation, PC, and I want to say the Switch also. But it's funny because my brother came over recently, and like you can like very detailed create your avatar. Even some of the skin tones had like vitiligo, and I was like, how inclusive is that? Yeah, it was
What?
wild. And so my brother came over, and I was playing. He was like, "That looks just like you," and I was like, "It does, doesn't it?" It was so crazy, like body
Oh.
shape, skin tones, hair. Like it looks like my girl has twists. My girl has twist cami, and so I was just like, y'all got me alone on the avatar. Let me calm down. I don't know.
No, I like it. Tell me
So y'all got me
more.
alone in the avatar, but it was just it's like it's simple tasks, but you can see progressively your quest. You're having to get more responsibility and do things. Like,
Right.
okay, it's not a fighting game, which I'm used to doing, like fighting or FPS or MMOs. But I'm like, I like this. I like this hybrid because you do get to grow things, you do get to plant, you do get to harvest, you do get to help people. Yeah, that's why when you said Animal Crossing, I was like, this is literally like Animal Crossing in the city. A little bit of Kingdom Hearts, but because of the characters. But it's definitely Animal Crossing meets The
Okay.
Sims.
Yeah, so I know what game I'm going to
Listen,
be looking out
listen,
for maybe
y'all.
this weekend.
Disney
Who knows?
Dreamlight Valley. It was a lot of fun.
All right. Okay. Thanks
Thank
for
you
the
for the plug. I'm
plug.
gonna look up this sushi striker for real.
I feel like if you like anime, you would
I
like
love
Sushi
anime, so I
Striker.
love sushi striker.
Because like I mean like the storyline now sometimes especially if I was like at a level where I'm like where I got stuck and I was really trying to beat somebody, the storylines were just like a little bit too much and I'm like I don't want the story right now, I just want to beat this guy. But
I feel you on
yeah.
that.
Oh, speaking of stories, did you finish How to Get
Of
Away
course
with
I
Murder?
did. Of course I
Oh,
finished How to Get Away with Murder.
listen, that show was real good.
That show had me going through some stuff. That show had me all
I
up
get
in
so emotional every time I watch the finale because that
montage.
monologue and
Yes.
her
And her just walking through with
monologue
the
and her
graying
closing
hair.
argument.
Oh,
Yes. And like the emotions, I'm just like Viola, you
Yeah.
just I'm snotting like Viola, just like
Yeah.
watching it. Just you did
He
that. She
did
did
do
that.
that. And whenever, oh my goodness, when I don't know why, but that montage always brings me back to her. She was accepting an award for something. No, she was doing an interview, and she was like, "I have a career that mirrors Meryl Streep." She was like, "TV, film,
Mm-hmm.
Broadway, da 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 da." She's like, "But you're not paying me, Meryl Streep level." And I was like, "Pay her Viola level,
Yeah.
because that's what she
Yeah,
earned.
pay her
She's
Viola
earned it."
level.
So the fact that like this
She's
woman
earned it.
keeps producing, literally producing, acting, direct, like she is a freaking what do you call it? She's an icon. She is part of what she learned. Literally.
Sorry, it has been a long day, so I'm like, I can't help you
It's
out.
okay.
I am not on
Because
my
I was
A
trying to say
game.
like something that was a triple threat but stronger, but I'm like, she's not a triple threat. So what is it? She's an icon living.
Mm. She's an icon. She's a
The
legend. She
moment.
is the moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I feel you. I agree with you 100%. And can we talk about Asher for a second? How do you feel about Asher's character? Because there's sometimes where I'm just like, bro, you are so annoying. And then there are some times where I'm just like,
You you
you just want somebody to love. And you want someone to love you back.
I feel a couple of things about Asher. I agree with your sentiments about what he wants or what he wanted out of it. I feel like he wants to be included, but it's like you're too goofy and doofy to be included in these mastermind murders that we're trying to carry out.
Okay?
So
Because every single time Asher's in the group, he's always like, yeah, I'm a silly white boy. Yeah. And I'm
you guys
like,
don't take me
look,
seriously.
listen,
You
there's a
don't before
time
me
and a
anything.
place,
Duh.
and we're trying to burn a body here. So this is neither the time or the place.
I'm just like, so I feel like I feel like he was a very doofy character, and they wrote him that way, and he played that role well. I do feel that way. I also feel
Mm-hmm.
like he honestly could have been written out a little earlier. Honestly, I don't.
I think he should have died in the fire.
Which fire? The bonfire or the house?
The season 3 fire that took
Hey,
West.
yo, okay. Putting a pin in Asher, but I want to get back to him. Did you think it was going to be what? Spoiler alert. Did you think it was going to be Wes who died in the fire?
No, I did not. I did not. Because I was like, there's no way. I thought it was going to be Nate.
Really?
I Yeah, because I'm like, Nate's like not that big of a character. Like he pops in and out. He's just the lover, but like he and Annalise, they're always on the rocks. Like it's easy to get rid of him because like even his lines in the show, they're very like, I'm Nate. Here I am. I'm a detective. Here I am. This is what I looked up. Here's the information. You don't even know what you want.
Okay, I want to put a pin in. No,
Am
I
I
want to put
wrong?
a pin in West also, and let's get to Nate. When he started talking like the I am Batman, a part of me was like, does he? I didn't know if he had like a speech impediment or something, and then I was just like, or is this how he sees this character talking? Because it was very much like, I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Nate Leahy. And I'm just like, what is going on here? I never researched it to see if it was true, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was noticeably like you're grunt talking, and I was like,
Mhm. The governor did it.
yo, I was just like, I don't understand. But you know what? Maybe Nate would have been killed off a little earlier if West didn't leave in season 3. Like that's not. I'm like, you're a titular character.
A titular
You're a main
character.
character. Why are you leaving in season 3? So then I had to, of course, look that up and be like, why did West Gibbons? And to my understanding, it was a shooting issue. Like because of their shooting schedule, he couldn't shoot other things. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's what
I
I
get it.
heard. And then there was like also I think he also did an interview where he was like, well, um he's with Laurel now or like he wouldn't be around the house, and like something
Because of
along the lines of
Bonnie.
he wouldn't
Bonnie
be at the
killing
house
my best friend.
anyway because of Bonnie and something else. And I was like, okay, I guess, but I am not satisfied with this answer
Right.
at
And so
all.
soon, I'm like, yeah, it threw me off. So
It was just so right. It was just
even
so
when I saw his
soon.
charred body in the back of the EMS vehicle, the first thing I thought, I was like, oh, they're faking his death. I was 100% sure. I was like, oh, they're faking his death, and I was like, Annalise doesn't know. That's why she's
Mhm.
so emotional and da da da. But of course, they're faking his death,
Mhm.
and especially since we saw, in the beginning, we saw Wes, his son, walking towards. I was like, oh, that's him coming back after he's revealed that he faked his. And then
Right. I mean, it is so funny because I remember in watching this in real time, tweeting it on TGIT, and I was like,
yo,
I was just like, in my feelings, like,
yeah.
ah!
Yeah, when I realized it was real, and I was I was like, y'all still playing. Like, what's the twist? How are you gonna bring him back?
I'm like, the math isn't mathing. I
Two
don't
plus two is
understand.
not equaling four.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Oh, there
Nate,
was one particular scene that I wanted to talk to
okay,
you
I'm just gonna
about.
unpin. We unpin Nate. We unpin Wes. So I guess we're back at Asher, unless you want to do the scene.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking
So I
about.
feel like he's Dookie one.
Goofy,
He's been
goofy
let go. And
Asher.
three, I felt like had Michaela not cheated with homeboy from Scandal, what's his name again? Marcus
Marcus
Walker,
Walker.
then I feel like Asher would have just been gravy. I'm not saying she had to marry him, but had she not cheated
No.
with Marcus, I feel like Asher could have
Mhm.
eventually lived. He wouldn't have been, oh, let me get a deal, let me take care of you, let me go in and mold, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. It just wouldn't have been the case.
I absolutely
Yeah.
agree. Absolutely. Um, well, what was I gonna say? I feel like the storyline of Wes and Laurel was kind of
Mm-hmm.
weird because number one, Laurel and Frank were so freaking hot together. They were like this, and it made sense for them to be together. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? He's got this past, and her dad's like crazy, and like with their powers combined,
We are the
they
duo.
could really rule the world. I mean, oof. But like when Frank was just like, "All right, I did this thing, shaving my head, going rogue now." I'm like, "Oh
Yeah.
God."
My thing was like, even if Wes was leaving, no, because that was before that. I didn't understand the coupling. I was like, why did they have to be together? And the thing that threw me off even more was Maggie. I'm like, I could take her out of every single scene and it would not change. So
It would
it
not
was
have
like,
changed.
what was the
It
reason?
was it was very
What
strange.
was the
I don't
reason?
know. I would have loved to be a fly on the wall in that writer's room so I could just be like, no, don't do it."
I'm all for melanated people getting acting roles. I'm all for that, but I need it to make
Mhm.
sense. I need it to make sense.
Yeah.
Laurel and Wes being together did not make sense to me. Even the
Speak
progression of the like we saw Frank and Laurel progressively getting closer, falling in love with each other,
right.
loving each other,
The
like having these
the
moments,
tension was amazing.
cutting the tension. And Wes and Laurel was kind of just like, oh, 2 episodes, we're together. Oh, we snuck a kiss. We're
Yeah,
together.
it was so weird. It did not make sense to me, but whatever. It's already written,
What's it
it's
called?
already produced, it's already out
Suspension of
there.
disbelief.
Speaking of things that didn't make sense in the show, I still don't understand the Hap stalls. Because um at the end of season 2, Caleb Hapstall, I thought committed
He did.
suicide. So then why was Caleb Hapstall brought up in like all of the dead people at the end for Operation Bonfire? Because they were trying to pin Annalise for that death, and I'm like, you can't pin her for that death. I mean, you couldn't pin her for
Right.
any of the deaths, but why was that like
I thought it
brought
was a
up.
situation
You know
where
what I
it's like
mean?
a faked suicide. That's why I thought they were coming after Annalise. Like, oh, you faked a suicide, and all these people around you die, so this has to also be related to you. That's what I took it to be.
Mm.
That whole arc had me thrown. The whole arc was weird.
It
Very,
was very weird,
yeah.
very strange. Did not
Do not
like.
recommend that arc. But
10 out of 10 would not recommend.
10 out of 10, do not recommend.
Um, okay, I think those were all of my
Okay.
talking points. I love that show
It's a
so
good
much.
show
It's so
with
good.
high replay value. I love a good show with high replay value. Love it. I'm rewatching a couple of different things right now. One is an anime called Hunter x Hunter. I'm rewatching that. And then I decided I want to rewatch all the Resident Evil movies from the Roots to the Tutor.
Oh,
Yeah, so
interesting.
I've added everything that Netflix has thus far. Whatever they don't have, I'll find elsewhere. There was something else I wanted to rewatch, but I haven't like added it yet.
I recently rewatched Gossip Girl because, sometimes you just want to relive your youth. And every time I rewatch Gossip Girl, I just scream louder because I'm like, everybody's infuriating. Yeah, it was not good. Cause I watched some of the new Gossip Girl, and that was infuriating too. This show is so dumb. So I watched the old Gossip Girl, and even though it's dumb, like it has its moments, but like it's like really not a good show.
I never watched Gossip Girl like that. I would see a couple episodes here and there, and I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand what's going on, and I'm not invested enough to figure it out. But it gave me like a better version of Pretty Little Liars vibe. That's what it gave me.
Mm.
I was. I'm not going to say this close. I thought about rewatching Pretty Little Liars because I was like, you know what? I watched it when I was younger. Maybe it just didn't make sense because I was younger. But no, that show just doesn't make sense.
The show does not make sense. I've also thought about rewatching Pretty Little Liars because I'm like, all right, I actually
Yeah,
want to
I
understand
want to
this show
understand.
because I want to understand because I dropped off way early before things got even more complicated than they already were. And before A was revealed, but I dropped off around the time the spin-off show Ravenwood or whatever it was came out.
That's
That was
correct.
like in
Yeah,
association with that show.
yeah,
Sorry, I'm not trying to have dead air. I'm just
yeah,
making faces because I'm so
yeah. I don't.
confused.
So again, I'm not going to rewatch it, but HBO has something called like Pretty Little Liars and something else. It's supposed to be darker, like a rated version. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, I want to watch that, but also I don't know. I did watch the spinoff of Pretty Little Liars that had Allie. It was like Pretty Little Liars, the something. Like she was like a teacher at a university or something, and it just didn't make sense. It didn't it didn't transfer well on film, and I hate to put her in a box like that, but sometimes when you have this baby face and it's like you're in this adult
Mhm.
role, it just didn't translate well. And I'm like, you should be running around with these
It's
kids on
really
the roof.
hard.
Like, why would I listen to anything you have to say
Mhm.
to me?
Right,
So
right.
yeah. And also you were you did all this crazy stuff. How are you able to continue your life
I just don't
in a full
understand. It
spin-off?
doesn't make
You
sense to
weren't even in
me.
most of the episodes.
You weren't even in most of the show until like later, and I'm like, wait, so you weren't dead? Like,
You weren't
how?
dead.
Make it make sense. Make it
You
make
had a
sense to
twin. You were
me.
blackmailing people left and right. You were pushing people here and there. You were blackmailing your own
So
friend.
she
Yeah, she
had a
had a
twin.
twin.
So one of the twins is dead then.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So 10 out of 10, do not recommend that you watch Pretty Little Liars, the first one, the original one, or the spinoff with Allie, or even Ravenwood. I didn't even watch Ravenwood. And shout out to Caleb because Caleb was cool, but
Caleb was
it didn't make
cool.
sense.
Better than that other dude
Ezra?
that no, anybody's
Yikes.
better than Ezra. God
Yikes.
damn it, Ezra. Ugh. No, the other dude, the
Oh, Toby. Oh my!
Toby.
I
I
was
was
about
gonna
to say
get
the
there.
creeper.
I wanted to call him Henry so bad. I'm
I was
like,
about
I
to say
don't
the
think it's
creeper. Yeah,
Henry.
Toby was. Now that I'm talking to you about it, I'm starting to see like all these faces and plot lines. Like, ugh.
Right.
It was terrible writing.
It
It was
was a
terrible.
really bad show. And,
Maybe
like,
the books
here's
are
the
better.
thing, ABC Family, Freeform, they are known to, like, not produce, like,
Quality,
quality
yes,
TV.
yeah.
But I felt like, "Oh, Pretty Little Liars, like, that's something." No, no. I'm trying to think of all of the ABC Family Freeform shows that are just, like, bad.
Not all the bad ones. I don't know. I don't know. I remember shows being like when I think about like good ABC shows, I do think of like Step by Step. I think of So Little Time, the Olsen twins. Like I
Mm. So that was so
love
good!
So Little Time. Like so little time, so much to do. There was such good content. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, what who
Mhm.
is the audience for this? Because it looks like the audience is
Right.
teenagers, and the teenagers I know would be like, who is the audience for this? So I'm just very confused.
It is very confusing. Like, a lot of TV is
Yeah, but I
confusing,
want
though. 'Cause, like, I feel like there's always, like, a rush to, like, put
yeah.
something out, and I'm like, okay, we coulda spent a little bit more time on this," or, "This is definitely not getting renewed
Did
for
you
a
ever
season
watch
2."
The Lion Game? It was also based on a book, I think written by the person who did Pretty Little Liars. And to me, The Lion Game translated better, but it didn't have enough viewers.
Okay. I've heard of it, I never
Okay, I
watched
liked
it.
The Lion Game, and so even it ended at a very weird point when they didn't renew. I'm like, so we just don't know if he's alive or not.
Mm.
And it's like show
Mhm.
canceled. I was like, gosh darn it! But y'all gave this show over here
Uh,
like 6, 7, 11
okay.
million seasons.
There was this one show called, Young and
Yeah,
Hungry
I
on
remember that.
ABC Family. It had the worst ending because it got canceled, and
And I,
every ti that show infuriates me on so many different levels. Number 1, you live in San Francisco. Why are you wearing heels all the time? There are lots of hills. You're not wearing heels all the time. Put on some sneakers. Like, make this realistic. Number 2, really? You think that you'd have that good of a relationship with your boss that you slept with on the first day of your job that was also engaged? Really? Seriously?
wait, isn't that the spinoff for the Fosters?
No, no, no. The Fosters is no,
I
no,
think
no.
Young and Hungry
The spinoff for the Fosters is oh, what is it? I know what you're
isn't
talking
that
about.
Is Young and Hungry the one with not Ashley Simpson, Hillary Duff's sister?
Emily Osment, who played Miley's friend in Hannah Montana.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Haley
Well,
Joel
then yeah,
Osment's
that's not the show
sister.
I'm talking about. But okay, I know what you're talking
Okay.
about though.
I know what you're talking
Don't know
about, but I cannot. It's like LA something. What is it?
that.
Because Hulu tries to make me watch it every single time I'm watching a show. It's like, all right, we're gonna
Good
automatically play this
Trouble.
show, so I know how the first like 10 seconds of the
Oh,
show
Good
goes.
Trouble.
Good Trouble.
Yeah, they got a lot of seasons.
Okay,
This must be a
okay.
good spinoff, and it's still current. 4 seasons.
Is it?
It says January 8th, 2019, the present. So
Wow,
that's
that's
very impressive for a
impressive.
spinoff. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Maybe I'll listen to Hulu's recommendation. I've also been watching a lot of true crime stuff. And by a lot, I mean I watched one episode of I Survived a Crime, and that was too much for me to handle. So I'm putting a pin on that.
I
It's
think
just too
I've
real.
seen. Was that on Netflix or was that on?
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw a preview
Mhm.
for that, and I was like, nah. Absolutely.
And you were right to think that because like I watched one episode and I was like, I don't like this. I did finish The Staircase on Netflix because I'd been putting that off for a while. I mean, by a while,
What's
I
that
mean
about?
years. Uh, it's about this guy who used to be a novelist. He was accused of killing his wife. This is like in the early 2000s, 2001. What is his name? Can't remember his name. But yeah, like the prosecution claimed that he like beat his wife and pushed her down the stairs. But he claims that he was in the garden with his wife, and his wife said that she was going to bed, and then she came into the house, or he came into the house, and he saw his wife like at the stairs, like at the bottom of the stairs, just like
Unalive.
dead,
Hmm.
unalived.
Is this
Yes,
based on a true story?
this is a true story. Now, so there's a staircase documentary on Netflix, but then there's the staircase based off of this event show on HBO.
Okay. I might look into that. Even sometimes based on a true story, shows or movies get me really excited, but sometimes I'm also like that same thing, like you said, like this could happen to me, or this happened in real life.
Right. hmm I have to be very careful with the amount of true crime I ingest
Yes,
because I'm already a very anxious person, and I don't need that anxiety going up way too high where I can't
agreed. I
function.
second that motion.
Because I remember I watched Making a
Hmm.
Murderer, which is on Netflix, and it takes place in the state that I live in. Um, and I think it's a bit farther from where I live, but I'm just like, I remember because this was after I got married. This was like season 2, and like like we were still decorating our house at the time, but like anytime I would go out, I would be like, I gotta make sure Stephen Avery is not here. I gotta make sure Stephen Avery is not here. Like there's even a time where I was just like, I don't want to get a Toyota RAV4 because I don't want to
Right.
die in it.
I feel you on that, and that's valid. Hmm.
Okay, it's
A lot of people
it's
didn't
really
buy
scary.
Broncos for a long time because they didn't want to be associated with.
Listen, it's
Listen,
true.
those Bronco sales plummeted. Expedition.
Plummeted. Do not like once your thing is associated with death, it's like, listen, we were on board
Until we
until we
weren't. The
weren't.
done done. Wrap it up. Hang it up. Flat screen.
Speaking of picking up flat screen, do we want to cut things off and you know get on with our evenings or
Sure.
nights?
Would you like to tell the peaches where they can find us?
Hey Peaches, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts, really, which is YouTube, Spotify, Anchor. Where else are we? Apple, Google, Amazon. I think that's it.
Instagram.
I mean, like, are people listening on Instagram?
I don't know.
You can follow us on Instagram to get alerts for when we're dropping like episodes and little gems. And if you want to see the tiki talkie that I was talking about earlier,
After that.
You're like every time I just start laughing about it, I'm thinking about that Big Frida part when he's like, da, 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 da. Like when he's the way he was moving his body. It was giving legs and hips and body, body, body. It makes me so
Happy is
happy.
good.
Anyway, that's where you can find us. Stay tuned for the
Please and thank you.
gems.
I said
What?
please and thank you. Like please. Thank
Oh,
you
yes.
for
Please
stay
and thank
tuned.
you. Coco, it's been so great to talk to you,
Always
beautiful
good to talk to
face,
you.
and hear your
Mhm.
beautiful voice.
Likewise.
I hope
You
you have a great
too. Make good
weekend.
choices or don't. Can you wink? Okay. Well, all right. Like for real wink.
I cannot wink to save my life.
Can you do
What?
anything like facial movement wise? You guys have to watch the episode for
I
this
can do
bonus
this.
content. Can you
I
do
can
the
do
nose thing?
this. I can do
Oh wait, are you doing one at a time? Let's see. You know, I can do it.
just this one. I can't
I
do
have to
the
hold
other
it down
one.
though. How do you do that? Okay.
I can't do anything
You
cute
can't
with
do
my
the nose thing though.
nose. I can't wiggle it, but I can do this.
The flare? Are you sniffling?
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll be back next week. You don't have to cry. Bye.